"So, my blind date," Daniel said, leaning back in his chair. He looked me up and down, a smug smile playing on his lips. He had spent the last hour bragging about his six-figure salary, his German sports car, and his importance as a senior vice president. He gestured around the expensive restaurant. "Tell me again what you do?" "Oh, right, an assistant. Cute." He laughed, a short, condescending sound. "Look, Sarah, you seem nice. But let's be honest. We're from different leagues." He pulled out a thick wallet. "Don't worry, I'll pay. You probably can't afford a place like this." I just smiled. He thought he was being generous. He didn't know he was talking to the anonymous founder and owner of the entire tech corporation he worked for. And he had just failed his final interview. After I sold my first company, I had everything I ever wanted: financial freedom, a beautiful penthouse, and a severe allergy to fake people. Dating became impossible. Men either saw me as a walking bank account or were so intimidated they couldn't hold a conversation. So I made a rule. I created a secret identity. My name is Sarah, and I am the anonymous founder of Innovatech Solutions, one of the fastest growing tech firms in the country. But on dating apps, I'm just Sarah, an administrative assistant. It was my filter, my way of finding someone who would like me for me, not for my stock portfolio. For months, it was a disaster. Guys would ghost me the moment they heard my boring job title. It was depressing, but it was also revealing. It showed me how many people judge a person's worth by their career. When I matched with Daniel, I had a flicker of hope. His profile said he was ambitious and driven. I thought that meant he valued hard work. I was wrong. It meant he only valued status. The week before our date, I was doing my quarterly undercover boss walkthrough at the office. Something I did to check on company morale. I saw him in the sales department. He was loud, arrogant, and belittling to the junior staff. I recognized his type instantly. The kind of man who climbs the ladder by stepping on others' hands. I almost canceled our date right then, but a part of me was curious. I wanted to see if his arrogance was just an act for the office, or if that's who he truly was. I decided to go. It wasn't just a date anymore. It was an investigation. The date was a performance, and he was the star. We hadn't even looked at the menus before he ordered a $400 bottle of wine. "Trust me," he said, not even looking at me. "You'll like it." For the next hour, he talked about himself, his sales numbers, his bonus, his tailor. He asked me no questions. When I tried to share a story about a book I was reading, he checked his watch. Finally, he paused. "So, Sarah, an assistant. What's that even like? Filing papers, getting coffee. Must be a simple life." I forced a smile. "It has its moments." He laughed. A loud, braying laugh that made the couple at the next table look over. "Right. Moments. I can't imagine. My moments involve closing million-dollar deals. It's a different world." He took a long sip of wine, looking me over as if I were an exhibit at a zoo. I usually date lawyers, doctors. Women with ambition. I'm doing you a favor, really. Giving you a taste of the good life. That was it. That was the final piece of evidence I needed. He waved down the waiter for the check. He pulled out a thick wallet, fanning the cash as he looked for his credit card. "Don't worry," he said, his voice dripping with condescension. "I'll get this. You probably can't afford a place like this anyway." He smirked, waiting for me to be impressed. Or grateful. He had no idea what was coming. He placed his black corporate credit card on the small tray the waiter brought. "There you go," he said to me with a magnanimous air. A few moments later, the waiter returned. He looked nervous. "I'm very sorry, sir," the waiter murmured, looking at Daniel. "But this card, it has been declined." Daniel's smile vanished. "What? That's impossible." "Run it again." "It's an unlimited corporate account." The waiter shook his head. "I did, sir. Twice. It appears the account has been suspended." Daniel's face started to turn red. He fumbled through his wallet, pulling out another card. A personal one. "Fine. Use this one." The waiter returned a minute later, looking even more apologetic. "I'm sorry, sir. This one was declined as well." Insufficient funds. The room suddenly felt very quiet. I could see panic blooming in Daniel's eyes. His entire identity was built on the image of success and wealth. And that image was crumbling in front of a woman he had just called simple. "This is ridiculous," he hissed, trying to keep his voice down. "There must be a mistake with the bank system." I leaned forward, my voice calm and neutral. "Is there a problem, Daniel?" He looked at me flustered. "No, of course not. Just a technical issue." I took a slow sip of my water. I then pulled out my own wallet. It was a simple, unbranded leather wallet. I took out a single plain black card and placed it on the tray. "Try this one," I said to the waiter. Daniel scoffed. "Sarah, please, don't embarrass yourself. If my cards don't work, yours definitely won't." The waiter took the card. He returned less than 30 seconds later, holding the receipt. He handed the card back to me with a respectful nod. "Thank you, ma'am. Everything is taken care of." Daniel stared at the paid bill, then at my card, then at me. His arrogant composure was completely gone. How? He stammered. What is that card? Oh, this. I said, looking at it casually. It's just the company card for Innovatech Solutions. The CEO gave it to me. He looked confused. The CEO. Why would the CEO give an assistant a corporate card? I smiled. My first genuine smile of the evening. He didn't, I said. I am the CEO. Daniel stared at me, his mouth slightly open. He looked like a fish out of water. The color drained from his face. You're joking, he stammered. You're lying. Am I? I replied, my voice dangerously soft. Let's check. Take out your phone, Daniel. Try to log into your corporate email. He fumbled for his phone, his hands shaking slightly. He tapped on the screen, then tapped again. His eyes widened in horror. It says, access denied, password invalid. That's right, I said. Because as of 20 minutes ago, when you called me a simple woman you were doing a favor for, your employment at Innovatech Solutions was terminated. Your accounts were suspended. He looked up from his phone, his expression a mixture of terror and disbelief. You can't do that. I'm the senior vice president. I closed the biggest deal in the company's history last quarter. You were the senior vice president. I corrected him calmly. And that deal you closed. I read the report. You took all the credit for the work your junior team did. You bullied them into silence. That's not leadership, Daniel. That's theft. He tried to stand up, but his legs seemed to wobble. My car, the company car, the black Porsche. It's being towed from the restaurant parking lot as we speak. I said, taking another sip of water. The keys were deactivated remotely. And that unlimited corporate card you were so proud of. It's been cut in half, metaphorically speaking. He finally found his voice, a desperate pleading whisper. Sarah, please. I didn't know. I was an idiot. I was trying to impress you. You weren't trying to impress me, I said, my voice hardening. You were trying to humiliate me. You judge people's worth by their job title and their credit limit. And in our company, there is no room for people like that. I stood up, leaving my plain black card on the table as a tip for the excellent waiter. This date was very revealing, Daniel, I said, looking down at him. Thank you for the performance. It confirmed everything I needed to know. He just sat there, a broken man in an expensive suit, surrounded by the ruins of the life he thought he had.